Today I'm at the Allegheny Portage Railroad National Historic Site, and it's a monument to a really interesting time in America's history. Of course, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are both in the state of Pennsylvania, and we think of them as being pretty close together. But in 1824, the journey between them took 3 weeks. Pittsburgh was the gateway to the West. It was the far West at that time. But it was also becoming a thriving city. And so there was obviously a lot of desire to make them closer together. So in 1824, a group of people under the auspices of the government of Pennsylvania set out on a major public work project. And they just called it the public work, although we call it the Allegheny Portage Railroad. It took 10 years, but in 1834, they finally finished it. It was a series of canals linking the two cities. The problem is that some of it went up hills, and trains at that time couldn't go uphill. So they built these big stationary steam engines that could pull rail cars uphill. And they actually just took the boats, the canal boats, put them right on the tracks, pulled them up the hill. I'm at the highest point, and behind me is the Lemon House, owned by someone who knew that thousands of passengers were going to be going by. They'd want a spot to stop for a drink or even stop for the night. And for 20 years, this linked Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. But then in 1854, by then a lot of better trains existed that could go uphill, and trade between the cities tapered off, and the system was shut down forever. But for 20 years, between 1834 and 1854, this was one of the most important economic arteries of the United States.